Well, hello YouTube. How you going? I haven't done any recording. Well, no, sorry, correct me. I haven't done recordings for a couple of weeks now. Well, at least a couple of weeks. Well, I don't know. I started doing some before, and then I just started to get sick when I started to do them, which was a pain in the ass and absolutely annoyed the shit out of me. But anyway, my teething issues. I got myself to 670s in SLI. Let me actually see that. Yes, hold on a second. Yeah, I got my two 770s in SLI. They're both running pretty well. I've had pretty good performance so far with the games I've been chucking at it, including GTA. I mean, the only thing that is annoying me a bit is that the frame rate that Shadow Play seems to be reporting doesn't seem as high as I would expect it to be with two cards performing with each other. Saying that, it could be just an inconsistency thing, or just a little anomaly thing that's popped up basically, and it could be related to drivers. Most likely, I think it's related to drivers in some form. Got my two monitors. Rocking beside it is a Samsung monitor, which is a small 1080p monitor, which is about 24 inches. Then I got my 28-inch Samsung 4K monitor at the moment, working pretty well so far. I haven't had any major issues. I did have to do a format on my computer because I was having heaps of NVIDIA driver issues, which basically just screwed the entire batch of everything on my computer. Like, it just screwed everything. I was literally having issues where the fan was going bonkers and my CPU fan was going bonkers, which was stupid because my CPU fan had nothing to do with the display. But yeah, look, it's bound to happen. That's life, can't do much about it, unfortunately. So what I figured out for myself is, in the long run, it's probably better off if I pretty much do a reformat and just, put all the software back on my computer that I was using before and everything else like that. So that's what I've done. I've reformatted my computer. I fixed all the software up. I fixed most of the software errors I was having before. Pretty much every intermittent software error I was having before, I think I've pretty much got rid of it now. I've put all my original software back on that I was using. As you know, my popular pieces of software here. F5 to refresh, there we go. I have a new version of Game Capture HD for my Elgato, which I haven't really tested yet, but supposedly it's supposed to be pretty cool. It's a new version, 2.0, I think, 2.0, and it should be interesting to have a look at that at some point. At the moment, I'm a little bit, to be honest, NVIDIA pissed me off with their drivers, because I don't know what the hell was going on. Some weird shit was going on, and it's just like the amount of times I probably reinstalled and uninstalled the driver, and about 50 million times at one point it was showing SLI, then it wasn't showing SLI, and it was being the biggest pain in the rectum you could ever ask for. I just went, what the fuck? Like, seriously. It would either show SLI, or it would only show two options at all, just, stereotypic sound and compatibility with games. And that's the only fucking setting it would show. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? Okay, this is just fucking retarded. So I figured it was actually a setting issue and a registry issue, and the registry was full of shit somehow from NVIDIA stuff. I was guessing, but even then I cleaned the registry out. It didn't seem to make much of a difference. So finally I reformatted, and now everything seemed to actually be running in the normal parameters that it's meant to be running in, which is good. I'm happy now. I'm happy. I'm quite ecstatically happy because things are running a lot better than they were before. They were running like a piece of shit before, which was driving me up the fucking wall. No comment, really. Anyway, those are some of the videos I've worked on before anyway, so I'm being a bit pedantic at the moment about some of my videos because I just want to get them just, reasonably right, or, something along those lines anyway. I got Overclock Guru here, which I haven't really mucked around with overclocking my cards. I may not, probably won't. I'll just leave them at their normal speeds and stuff like that, and just, let them do their own stuff. Check the firmware versions and everything else. They're all good. My temperatures have been okay, reasonably. I mean, saying that, I'll have to check them. I'll probably have to get more of a check on those in most cases. Where is it? There we go. It was a 54 on that. Well, that's normal for my CPU at the moment. And on top of that, the room is hot with my aircon running in the background. 50 degrees for each card. 32 degrees for the motherboard. So I mean, I'm not too bad for my motherboard. My processor's not too bad at the moment. Obviously, those cards could be running a bit cooler, but that, considering the temperature in the room itself, which is probably about 27 degrees, that's pretty good. That's that's reasonably good for my computer. Good here. So we got yeah, like basically I've reinstalled all my software, all the original software I had. Probably have to update some of it and fix some of it up. I'll probably end up doing some benchmarks as well on my computer just to see how things go. Encoding stuff and encoding different bits and pieces, stuff of that nature. What else? I don't know. At this point in time, it all depends on my frame of mind and what I feel like doing. I'll probably end up playing a couple of games and reviewing a couple of games. Like for example, there's a couple of the other ones. I'll try and see if I can get Watch Dogs to work in SLI mode. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. I've been playing all games that I have played. I played Alan Wake New Nightmare, Alien vs Predator, Alien Colony Marines, Batman Arkham Asylum, which I played a little bit of it just to see if it actually works. Bioshock, Borderlands 2, Bulletstorm, Bureau. Bureau seems to have a little stuttering issue, which I'm not sure if that might be related to the SLI profile, maybe. Call of Duty 4 is okay. Black Ops is not too bad. Black Ops multiplayer is not too bad. Same with Black Ops 2 as well. Haven't tried Ghosts yet. I'm guessing Ghost is going to be okay because it was actually designed to run on 4K. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. These games are probably just need to test anyway. What else have I haven't tested? I mean, there's a few games I have tested and haven't tested. I've run GTA 4 and GTA Grand Theft Auto episodes of Liberty City. I have played with what else? I've played with... Well, I did play a bit of Left 4 Dead, but not so much now. LA Noire ran pretty well, from what I could see. Pretty really. These games, like Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, those seem to run. All my games for Windows stuff I basically just got running. Did try a bit out of Saints Row 4, did seem to run. Most of the games in this list, pretty much all of them, I've thrown at it and it doesn't seem to buckle under the pressure too much. No, and that's saying too much, but I mean at the same time, I was having initial driver issues which seem to be causing weird issues, funky issues with fans, CPU fans. Not just funky issues with CPU fans, but funky issues in general with graphic stuff, which was causing my computer to go nuts and a bit haywire and screens turning off and stuff like that. On top of that, I have got a 4K screen. It's a Samsung. Now the 4K screen has some initial support issues, which, according to a couple of websites I've been reading, these people get these weird issues. I'm actually luckier than a lot of other people because I'm not getting half the issues that other people got. I'm also getting a DisplayPort 1.2 cable as well, because I don't know whether the cable that Samsung provides is an actual DisplayPort 1.2, but if it isn't, it isn't. I have no idea if it is. On top of that, the new cable is actually a premium cable. It's gold. It's got gold plating on the actual connectors. Now, aside from that, what else? State of Decay. As I said, most of this stuff I've been basically... I've worked through most of these games, including Shadowplay as well. I've mucked around with that. What else? Walking Dead, Watch Dogs, Watch Dogs is quite a good game. What else? Anyway, Postal. I mean, there's a few other games I actually haven't tried yet, and a few games I have tried. Far Cry 3 I haven't tried yet. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon I haven't tried yet. I mean, there's a few games I'm going to be trying anyway, and I'll muck around with them. I did try... What's the other games? In Origins, I tried Mass Effect 2, which works. Works at that resolution, so that's good. I tried Battlefield 3 Limited Edition, that works as well. Be it the frame rate could be a little higher, to be honest. I haven't tried Dead Space. Haven't tried Medal of Honor yet. But I mean, to be honest, I don't see it having a problem being able to go to that resolution. It's just more the frame rate, and it's more... I reckon the frame rate should be higher for what it is. But at the same time, considering 4K game is pretty new, and it could be just me. But I have noticed things are a lot smoother. They're just a lot more silky smooth with having 2 cards in there because of the extra processing power. It just makes things a little easier to deal with in general when you do have the extra SLI processing power and that extra card to be able to take the load off certain things, especially the CPU. Generally speaking, yeah, no big issues. It's performing well so far. Put all my software and everything else back on. I mean, I don't know whether I end up overclocking it because just because of the heat concerns. I mean, generally only thing I was thinking maybe is put a custom fan profile in there, set the fan, set the fan to a higher spectrum, like set my fan manual and always set it to 100%, so it's always running nice and cool. Which, to be honest, that would make sense, and I may do that at some point. I may end up adding that extra profile to run the fans at high speed, so it doesn't get as hot for it. Because basically at the moment I think I've got it on auto mostly. Yeah, I've mostly got it on auto at the moment. That's mainly what I've got it on right at this particular moment. I'm currently using Shadowplay. I've used Shadowplay to record this, and I've used Shadowplay to record Shadowplay to record this, and I've used Shadowplay to record GTA 4. Now, Shadowplay seems to be doing pretty well so far. Saying that, I haven't tried external programs like Bandicam or Fraps. I may at some point do a test with both of those programs, just to see how they fare on the performance side of things with having two cards and having the extra power and everything else. But yeah, no, all good otherwise. All good. It all seems to be functioning pretty well. I haven't had any major issues. Well, I've had major issues, but they've mostly been related to the fact that the NVIDIA drivers are a pain in the ass, and basically I hadn't formatted my computer for so long, and there was a lot of corrupt registry entries and shit and settings behind all that. That was probably causing a myriad of issues with everything else, so, fuck it. I basically had to just clear it out, pretty much. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. Thank you very much, YouTube. I hope you enjoyed the little video presentation of combination here that I'm doing, just to introduce things. And obviously I've had a cold for the last few days or weeks or whatever, week or so or whatever, and I'm still getting over it at the moment, but I'm getting there. I'm getting better. I'm coming back slowly. So anyway, thank you very much, YouTube. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for your time. Do like and subscribe if you're interested in more videos, obviously. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I can't think of anything else at the moment I've really missed out on, but if anybody can think, you can always comment on stuff. Okay, anyway, thank you. Catch ya. Bye.